This is Red Road, a small dirt road in Huntington that's become a dangerous daily landmine for Brandy Durham and her kids.
Red Road has no ditches. It's all dirt, rock and limbs and things hanging in the road. Our roads are horrible. They're never maintained.
Brandy went to Angelina County commissioners to complain, as our widening pain in the asphalt investigation confirms what we suspected from the start. Asphalt is being spread around in a very suspicious way.
Can I tell you something? Folks are going to be outraged about what we're finding.
Just a few blocks away from Brandy's house is another small road, Charlie Porter. Look at this small section paved late last year. Now look where it ends, right in front of this driveway. You know who lives here? Jared Dean, a senior manager for sales and quality for East Texas Asphalt. That's the company that made $4 million in the last 2 years off the sale of asphalt to Angelina County taxpayers. The biggest share of the asphalt bought by Precinct 3 Commissioner Terry Pitts.
I feel like we need to see an audit of everything.
We're still trying to find out who authorized this paving job. Taxpayers have a right to know. And Commissioner Pitts, he had a chance to explain, but he didn't say a word. And he's run away from our questions for months.
I want to talk about asphalt.
About what?
Asphalt.
I don't know nothing about asphalt.
The agenda for the most recent commissioners' meeting simply said roads would be approved from that $6 million of taxpayer money borrowed 2 years ago to fix the county's bad roads. But these guys, they knew they had no choice but to vote yes.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye. Hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of asphalt had already been spread out without getting any approval first, and that asphalt deal stinks. $66,000 was spent here on Gilliland Creek in Precinct 3. Just so happens that road connects to Oak Hill and a boat ramp into Lake Sam Rayburn. Lufkin lawyer Bob Flournoy accused Commissioner Pitts of misusing county equipment and materials on that very ramp.
And I said, please, just investigate this thing. Investigate the investigators. Why would they do this?
The Texas Rangers declined to fully investigate after what they called a cursory or discreet investigation. Check this out. This is Harold Street, a one-block road in a small subdivision in Zavala. While a lot of Angelina County folks beg for road maintenance and repairs, these folks got a fresh new paving job just a few weeks ago. And it wasn't cheap. The county spent $58,000 on this one little street. The only other street in the neighborhood that got the lucky pavement, it's called Ewell. Another $50,000 spent there. $108,000 on just two little side streets. The cost of paving roads in Angelina County must be addressed now, and the plot thickens.
Yes, it just so happens that Commissioner Smith lives in that area.
Actually, Judge, the paving work was done right in front and back of Commissioner Steve Smith's house. The commissioner didn't say a word at the meeting, but you know us.
What do you tell the folks in your precinct that of all the roads, yours are the ones that got fixed? What do you tell them? You want to tell them something? You want to explain it?
Commissioner Smith owes Angelina taxpayers a full explanation, or he should be ready to resign. This was no coincidence in a county with 700 miles of road.
Commissioner, how do you think this looks? You're like running away from a simple question about the roads. Don't you think the folks who live in that precinct have a right to know why you got paved roads and they didn't?
I can tell you, if they're paving a road that was in front of my house, I would have stopped it.
Yet it's Precinct 1 Commissioner Rodney Paulette who's facing the dramatic headlines in the local paper. Felony indictments from District Attorney Janet Castles, the latest for alleged abuse of official capacity. Paulette's accused of using county equipment and materials for the benefit of private individuals. But after what we've seen, the DA and the Texas Rangers have some explaining to do. This is video from last May. Repeated rains had flooded Homer Alto Highway in Commissioner Paulette's precinct. And look what the rains had done. A giant 2 to 3 foot wide ditch had been cut through a couple's property. 80-year-old Lloyd Finch, he's their next door neighbor, and he watched it all happen.
It cut a ditch like that and yay wide across their yard and back up behind their cars. And Mr. Paulette was concerned that it would get under their house or go into their house.
You know what was making the flooding worse? The clogged culverts and ditches. Finch says the old commissioner had neglected to clean the ditches. Neighbors had complained for years. And now they were paying the price for the county's negligence. Their driveway had been turned into a riverbed.
Greg Harrison never cleaned the ditches out. We had to just call him and wait, and he was always broke and out of money and couldn't do anything because they didn't have any money.
Paulette had been county commissioner for just a couple of months, but already had county crews digging out ditches in the area. Ditch dirt needs to be hauled off into the landfill. But Paulette used a truck instead to fill in the damage caused by that clogged culvert.
That dirt that he got out of the ditches was not pristine topsoil. It was beer cans and roots and leaves and trash that would have had to been carried off.
The homeowner says Paulette never asked for a penny. He was just trying to repair the damage caused by the county's negligence. He was real nice, the homeowner told us. I really do feel that it came from a good place. I feel that he wanted to right a wrong. We didn't ask him to do it. We certainly didn't pay him to do it. We're told the Texas Rangers were told the very same thing months ago. The indictments were apparently the DA's way of thanking Paulette for helping out a constituent.
It was absolutely the county's fault. It was Greg Harrison's fault. And plain and simple. It was not Rod Paulette's fault.
Yvonne Powers had complained for years about the drainage coming from a county road, sending water through her property.
The lady actually came to court and wanted me to put a culvert in a place that wouldn't work. And I went out and looked at it and I said, no ma'am, it won't work here, I can't put it there. But if you allow me to cut a ditch, we can divert this water away from my road.
Powers died in March, so she can't help Paulette now. That work he did, the DA calls it a felony.
And you think this is political?
Oh, it's completely political.
Commissioner Paulette and former County Judge Limberry both questioned the role of the DA in seeking indictments from the grand jury after they had rejected her budget in 2021. But all Brandy Durham wants is the end to asphalt specials for a select few.
And I don't know any of you gentlemen, but we deserve to have the same roads that ETA employees have, that commissioners have, that anyone else in this county has.
Commissioner Pitts has apparently now admitted he authorized the paving of the road by that East Texas asphalt official's house. Will he now get an invitation to testify to the grand jury? And we've been told Commissioner Smith wasn't the one who approved the $100,000 in asphalt spent around his house. But here's curious timing.
Have you made a deal with the DA?
We've learned Smith has now signed a sworn affidavit on August 5th, reversing his story on the alleged Open Meetings Act violations. Could the paving job have been a thank you? That improper spending cost taxpayers an awful lot more than some alleged misdemeanor violation of the Texas Open Meetings Act. Here's a chance for our friends in Angelina County who want to play part-time detective as we dig deeper into this asphalt mess. Send us a private message if you know of any special paving jobs, and we'll investigate.